The 1971 film Fist of Fury definitely is a classic. It was my first time that I had seen it, and even more than 50 years later, this one still stands out as one of the best movies from the late Bruce Lee. I personally never heard about this film until last year, so finally getting around to this, there's a whole lot that I did like about it. So the story of this one is that a student pupil named Chen ends up coming home where he finds out that his teacher has died under mysterious circumstances. And so he goes on a path of vengeance in order to find the people that were responsible. And from there is one of the most interesting martial arts movies from the early 1970s. I have said this before in the past, but I really do appreciate Hong Kong cinema because it was a different era of filmmaking. And while this is a simple revenge story, the topics of injustice, grief, and consequences, they do speak volumes here. With Chen doing whatever it takes in order to seek justice for what they did to his teacher, and there's a lot of exciting moments peppered all throughout this movie's runtime. Hong Kong cinema I always had appreciated over the years, at least recently checking out all these martial art movies. And this one right here, it definitely is a big standout. The late Bruce Lee, this character he plays, Chen, is probably the most aggressive out of the other roles he did in his lifetime. Only because Chen, he's violent, he's dealing with grief, he's taking out these bad guys one by one, he's murdering them. Now granted, what he's doing maybe isn't the right way, but I get why he's so pissed, why he's so angry, because those guys took someone that he really cared about, someone that he loved. Yuen, I thought she was a character that didn't get enough character development. I didn't even realize she was the fiance of Chen. I thought they was just friends. And they didn't really explore that relationship all that much. But then again, this is old Hong Kong cinema, so that is to be expected from a movie that came out decades ago. But as far as the other characters goes, I thought that the main villain, Hiroshi, he wasn't that interesting, to be honest. He didn't really do much until the third act. But when he finally showed up fighting Chen, I was like, maybe if he had more screen time, then I would care more about, that character being the villain. He was a weaker villain. What else can I say? The fight scenes, they're really what saves this film. Only because they're over the top, but in a good way. It's realistic. There's a lot of great fight choreography in this. And I do know that this did start a franchise, which had a couple of sequels, which I might check out. I won't review them, but I'll probably watch them just to see how the story goes for the other films. At the end of the day, even more than 50 years later, this still stands the test of time. And quite frankly, it's also one of my favorite Bruce Lee movies as well. I'm giving this film an 8 out of 10. A classic indeed, the fight scenes, the story, the themes. And considering that this isn't cheesy compared to some of the other Bruce Lee movies out there, definitely makes it stand out even more in my opinion. Now the late director, Lo Wen, I haven't seen any of his other films he had worked on. So I'll probably check some of them out eventually just to see how differently they are compared to this one. The historical and social references was a big game changer considering this was the highest grossing Hong Kong movie until The Way of the Dragon. Anyway, this is quite an influential martial arts film. Definitely is worth checking out if you've never seen it because despite it having such a simplistic story, it is still peak Hong Kong cinema. And that's my review of Fist of Fury. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie. Okay, this is Slum Guy 172 saying peace out.
An unjust injury, then I'll change my hands into fist of fury.
Oh,